everyone, welcome to Up at Noon with Brian Altano and Max Scoville. Up at Noon is our weekly comedy variety show here at IGN covering all things like pop culture, video games, news, movies, moobs.
What?
I don't know why I said that.
I don't think we're going to be talking about moobs on this show.
We might talk about some
maybe a little bit. Maybe a tiny bit. But yeah, no, we're back. This is a nonsense junk food show. It's sort of a variety pack of all the little things that don't make sense to put anywhere else. We don't take the show very seriously, as you might have guessed by looking at us. So if you want hard-hitting journalism, stick around until Monday when the weekend is over and the grown-ups come back to the office. We have basically been given free reign over the weekend to put up all sorts of horse-apple, screw-around, fuckaroo nonsense, as it's known in the biz.
So check us out every Saturday on IGN or on YouTube where you can get clips. The full show will be on IGN, but be sure to watch us everywhere. Tell your friends.
Yeah, if you like this show and you don't want it to go away for an undisclosed amount of time, please watch it and share the stuff that you like with the people you love.
Yeah.
So in the interest of making nice, timely, sort of like modern content that really addresses the conversation the internet's having as a whole, let's talk about Nintendo 64 games.
Moobs.
What?
Recently, the Nintendo Switch finally got its first Nintendo 64 game, and with a legacy of classic N64 games like Mario 64, GoldenEye, and Smash, any number of beloved games would have felt right at home on Nintendo's hit handheld console hybrid. Instead, we got Turok the Dinosaur Hunter, which is a bad game.
But look, bad games can be fun, and even if they don't exactly hold up in 2019, it is still really cool to have the option to play them on a modern console. And since Nintendo is taking its sweet time bringing their actually great N64 games to Switch via Virtual Console, here are 7 bad N64 games we want on Nintendo Switch, even though they suck.
Chameleon Twist is a bad game about a chameleon who uses his tongue to grab poles and swing around a room collecting money, like some sort of color-changing reptile stripper man. It controlled like if you tried to play Mario 64 with a rusty nail instead of a joystick. The game featured several memorable enemies, such as a water drop with googly eyes, fire with googly eyes, and an ice cream sandwich with googly eyes. I bought this game with my own money and beat it with my own depression, and I can confidently state it's hot garbage with googly eyes. Game sucks! Bring it back.
Cruisin' USA! The dream of the N64 was finally being able to bring competent 3D arcade game ports home and play them without spending a whole roll of quarters and getting yelled at by your mom for wasting laundry money. Unfortunately, dragging those games out of the dark, dingy corners of the arcades often exposed them for the bad games they were, and Cruisin' USA was no exception. Cruisin' USA is a low-res racing game composed entirely of ugly 2D sprites and music that sounds like it came from a wrestler's ass. Of course, it was the late 90s, so that was only a slight downgrade from how real-life cars looked and how actual popular music sounded at the time.
20 years ago, the idea of putting South Park on N64 was the equivalent of putting Thanos in Fortnite, a chocolate and peanut butter combo of zeitgeist, Hot Topic cash-in brand synergy. One of the 3 South Park games released on N64, South Park's already low poly aesthetic got turned into a first-person shooter where you threw piss-covered snowballs at wild turkeys. And while this game could have been a lot worse, it's still a licensed N64 game, and if that foggy-ass draw distance makes you think of Turok, that's probably because it's running in the Turok 2 engine. Piss-covered snowballs in your hands. Bring it on back for Switch. Split Joy-Cons. Let you and your friend use piss-covered snowballs together on the road. On the airplane with your pissy hands. Did I do that again? That was bad.
Duke Nukem 3D is a phenomenal, albeit offensively dated first-person shooter which was revolutionary when it was first released because it contained tons of cussing and hooters, which kicked ass if you were in 5th grade when it came out, like I was.
Hooters, Nakas, lamps, tanks, whistles, missiles, bumbles.
Unfortunately, when the game got ported to N64, it had to check its balls of steel at the door to make it a little more family-friendly, so Duke's bawdy one-liners basically got censored like an R-rated movie on TBS. Oh, and by the way, N64 didn't have enough storage for the full soundtrack, so it was really awkwardly quiet. I propose that in the year of our Lord 2019, the full, proper, unadulterated version of Duke Nukem 3D gets dumped on Switch because we're not in 5th grade anymore and we're old enough for Nintendo games with cussing and hooters, damn it!
Knockers. Speaking of Duke Nukem, if there was a Duke Nukem Forever before Duke Nukem Forever, it was Daikatana. FPS auteur John Romero's massively hyped follow-up to Doom and Quake, Daikatana was literally advertised with Romero's promise of making you his But when the game finally dropped on PC and Nintendo 64, it was a commercial and critical flop, even at the budget price of $19.99. So clearly, it's reported to Nintendo Switch for the sake of historical preservation, and because I too, once more, on the go or at home, want to be made his
I too would like to be the with Diet. Clay Fighter 63 1/3 took Mortal Kombat's digitized actors approach and replaced the actors with mounds of wet mud and forced them to fight each other with soggy controls and worse hit detection like some kind of horrible fever dream about Gumby. Pick your favorite characters such as mostly naked Santa with a Utila kilt, or emaciated clown who looks like he's about to die, or Booger Man. Remember Booger Man? And then battle until your dad comes home and drives you back to Funko Land to trade in this piece of crap for something nominally better, like Army Men, Sarge's Heroes 2, which, yes, also sucked.
I think it's pronounced Boogerman.
Boogerman?
The Mortal Kombat franchise has always been an unabashedly fun gathering of hell demons, robots, weird women in leotards, and theater actors who all punch each other to death until their skulls explode. It rules! But in 1997, Midway decided to launch a new spin-off series of side-scrolling, story-driven Mortal Kombat games called Mythologies. The first and last one focused on Sub-Zero and was so bad it murdered the entire spin-off series forever, and MK went back to its fighting game roots, never looking back again!
Fatality.
That's what happens when you kill someone in that game. It says that on screen. You rip it out.
One more for safety.
No. Wow, those games suck. But they're good, but they're bad. But they're fun to play, but they suck. You should know that. But it's okay if you like them, even though they're kind of sucky.
It's okay to like bad things. What bad things do you want to see on Switch? And what bad things have you convinced yourself are actually great because you haven't played them in 20 years? Let us know in the comments, and for everything good, bad, and everything in between, keep it right here on IGN.
Now hopefully someday, Up at Noon becomes a popular hit show and gets sponsored by numerous brands all over the world, such as Trivago. But until then, we made a fake ad. Let's take a look.
What's up, gamers? Are you hungry? Hungry for snacks? Well, you should get Corn Snack aimed at gamers. It's got the flavor that's proven to frag your hunger from out of orbit. Don't throw that controller, because mom's gonna be steamed. Get yourself some Corn Snack aimed at gamers in epic cheese flavor. But after a quick break, we do have a very wonderful segment.
in the middle of drinking my coffee. Give me a second.
Everybody wait for Brian to finish his coffee. And while you're waiting,
I'm just gonna have a sip.
check out this interview we did with Suda51, a wonderful game designer with a great sense of humor who answered all of our stupid questions.
That's right.
You done yet? Drink your coffee.
Bottoms up. Hey there, welcome to Up at Noon with Brian and Max, and our very special guest today, the legendary game designer, Suda51, and his legendary translator, James Mountain. Thank you guys so much for coming. Today we're gonna ask you 21 very stupid questions. And you wanna kick it off, Max?
Go for it.
Sure. How did Travis Touchdown lose his virginity?
Travis got all fucked up at a party and ended up boning one of his friend's moms. That's probably
Wow.
Who is better at kissing, Mario or Luigi?
Luigi.
What is the oldest t-shirt that you own?
多分ね、
it'd probably be my Violence Jack t-shirt.
How old is it?
もう20、いや、もっと
About 30 years ago.
If you could make a Batman video game, what would it be like?
I would create a Batman game where Batman only rides the Batmobile. He doesn't get out, he doesn't fly. He's just in that damn Batmobile all the time.
Have you ever pooped on an airplane?
いつも
All the
いつもですよ
Who is your favorite movie director?
ジェームズ・ガン
How do you feel about pineapple on pizza?
The older I get, the more I'm like, yeah, all right.
What is the best animal?
エレファント
Elephant?
エレファント
That's a good f***ing animal.
Which is worse? Mario with no mustache
いや
or Sonic the Hedgehog with
どっちが最悪？
それはマリオでしょ
Mario.
マリオこれ最悪
I agree.
What if
いや
Sonic had a full beard?
じゃあ完全に
おーかっこいいもん
This
かっこ
actually
いい
looks pretty badass.
I agree. What's your favorite Metal Gear game?
4番目4 4 yeah
Would you rather have a flying motorcycle or a jet that could turn into a robot?
ああもちろん
Oh, the robot,
Yeah,
the robot jet thing, of course.
超欲しい超欲しい
That was the correct answer.
Yeah.
Which is scarier, a snake with 8 legs or a long, skinny spider with no legs?
スネーク
The snake?
Yes.
Mario with no mustache is the correct. What is the saddest meal you've had in your life?
이치방悲しい食事?
When he was at E3, he stayed at this certain hotel that rhymes with Holiday Inn that just had the most garbage breakfast.
食事.
Which is your favorite block in Tetris? The line.
Which member of the Smash Brothers roster would you kick out to give Travis touchdown a spot?
じゃあね、ルイージにどいてもらおうかな.
Who is the best rapper ever?
俺そんな詳しい
Maybe Eminem.
When was the last time you threw up?
To be honest, on the plane on the way here to GDC.
Was this before or after you pooped? If dogs laid eggs, would you eat the eggs?
Yes.
What's the longest your hair has ever been?
でも
Maybe till about here, that's about it.
What is the worst musical instrument?
やっぱり
The loud ass, cumbersome ass trombone.
Can you please put all your games on Switch?
約束できないけど
I can't promise anything, but I'm gonna try my best.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's 21 questions with Suda51. From dog eggs to pooping and puking on the plane to flute you the trumpet, we've learned a lot today. So thanks for watching. Super Mario, Sonic the Hedgehog, Christopher the Badger. Some of the most popular video games of all time were all born long ago. But what about Crash Bandicoot?
Yeah, what about Crash Bandicoot?
Yeah, what about Crash
about
Bandicoot?
Crash
What
Bandicoot?
about Crash Bandicoot?
This next video is very bad and I apologize in advance. Please enjoy.
Crash Bandicoot!
Hello friends, we're gathered here today to talk about Crash Bandicoot. Specifically, our friends at First Four Figures sent over this limited edition resin statue of the famed Bandicoot from the 90s.
That's right,
This
he's
is
here.
Limited to 675 pieces, hand sculpted, comes with magnetic Wumpa fruit that click onto the base. And it was while we were admiring this wonderful Crash Bandicoot centerpiece that we came to the conclusion, is Crash Bandicoot John Cena's persona?
Hear us out on this one.
Yeah, seriously. No, I know it sounds goofy, but listen. So we were actually admiring these acrylic crates that come with the First Four Figures Crash Bandicoot, which has an MSRP of $375. And we began thinking, John Cena, who first appeared in late 90s wrestling as a heel, much like Crash Bandicoot appeared in early Sony marketing as something of a bully to Nintendo.
That's right, he would show up to their parking lot in their corporate office in Redmond and harass the building.
He had a megaphone, he would yell, and he was mean. But gradually, people came to love him.
Yeah.
And of course, you'll notice that the color scheme of Crash Bandicoot, much like John Cena, is orange and some blue, which
Yeah.
at one point was his look.
Specifically with the blue jean shorts, quickly referred to as jorts for
Yes.
people in a hurry. John Cena also was not seen for several years before returning on the scene and his career being bigger than ever. Crash has now experienced a sort of similar renaissance, if you will, of disappearing for quite some time and being embraced by modern audiences to much fanfare.
Yeah, and it's cool to see First Four Figures really celebrating this iconic mascot of platforming who is removable from his base, which has some really fantastic detailing as well as realistic flocking down there, and also has interchangeable magnetic eyes in both crazy and normal varieties. These are, I believe, are the normal ones, but who's to say? He's a Bandicoot. You ever see Event Horizon?
Check this out.
I don't want to.
It's kind of like Pan's Labyrinth.
I don't know if it's magnetic to the entire thing, but anyway, here's the crazy eyes. And to really establish exactly how crazy he is, his tongue just clicks in right there. I feel like in the 90s, we were like, Crash Bandicoot, this spiky-haired, jort-wearing hooligan, he's up to no good. I don't trust him one bit. And now we're like, no, he's all right.
Yeah.
I would go see him in a feature film, such as Bumblebee or Blockers, which was an underrated comedy starring John Cena.
I would actually watch an entire romantic comedy movie starring Crash Bandicoot himself. That'd be a good look.
I think it's time for a Crash Bandicoot film starring John Cena.
That's
but in
a
the
great
meantime,
idea.
if you can't afford the First Four Figures Crash Bandicoot, our good friends at NECA also sent over some action figures of Crash. Here's Scuba and Jetpack Crash. These are wonderful articulated action figures. Statues are awesome. I'm a bigger fan of action figures because you can actually play with them.
Yeah, you can also keep them on your desk a little bit easier. It's a little bit easier to kind of sneak into work and just have sitting around.
These will run you about 30 bucks a piece, give or take.
They've got really great details. I love Crash's jetpack here, the straps around him, and his super cool goggles. Also, the fact that they did his hair and his eyebrows with such great details. Like there's actually more hair and fur texture on this than there is on this. And obviously that's a stylistic look. You know, they went for something a little more clean and iconic and poppy here. And this is a little more gritty.
Yeah, I love that
dig
they've
it.
got, the paint ops are phenomenal on these, and I love that they have actually transparent goggles on both the jetpack and the scuba gear. NECA also makes Spyro action figures, which are coming out soon, so also from the sort of Activision library.
I think if they make another Mario and Sonic at the Olympics Games, they need to invite Crash Bandicoot, because Crash Bandicoot is a warrior and he is athletic. Just like a certain wrestler.
I don't think this jorts-wearing gentleman would trifle with the Olympics. I think that Crash Bandicoot and Spyro the Dragon, who's known for skateboarding, should take on the X Games, a more extreme and alternative 90s sporting event.
That's true. These are not like league-ready jetpacks.
No.
I think if you brought these to a race, you would get eliminated. And also a triathlon that involved that swimming apparatus there, he would get kicked out as well.
But
also, he probably does steroids.
yeah. But anyway, what do you think about the similarities between Crash Bandicoot and John Cena? And also, what do you think of these cool collectibles available where collectibles are sold, such as the First Four Figures website, or wherever you can get NECA toys, which is actually at Target now, so go check it out. They're behind the video games. I had trouble finding them because I was looking in the toy aisle, which is sometimes awkward for me.
Guess you couldn't see them.
Yes.
Dun, 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 dun,
Keep an eye on that Wumpa fruit. Oh, I thought you were doing an eye thing, but yeah.
It's both
Anyway.
of those. Yeah, it's like there's a lot of similarities between those two characters.
I thought we drew a pretty good line between let's make a Crash Bandicoot unboxing and also let's talk about John Cena for 3
It
minutes.
was a wobbly bridge, but we drove a car across it.
Yeah, that's true.
Thanks for watching the first episode of Up at Noon. Be sure to watch more of the show every single Saturday on IGN at 12 p.m. Pacific time and 9 a.m. Eastern time, and then other times on the clock or wherever it is that you is.
Yeah, and if you enjoyed any of these funny little segments and you want to watch them again or whatever, we are chopping those out so you can share them around the internet.
That's right.
Post them in the comments on competing websites.
Exactly.
Go on.
Check us out on YouTube. That's IGN or youtube.com/. Just subscribe every Friday night.
It's IGN.
Watch the show on Saturday and Sunday, and unsubscribe on Sunday, so you don't have to see the rest of the stuff. No, I'm just kidding. You should watch all that stuff, and then resubscribe again to the.
If you like a thing on the internet and you want it to stick around and not go away, support it. Anyway, before we go, we figured it was sort of disingenuous of us to have all this like slimy looking neon graphics every which way, but not to have any actual slime doing any stuff. I feel like we should be getting slimed like we're in a Nickelodeon game show.
I agree. So we have these small replica models of ourselves.
Yeah.
You got 3D printed and then you hand painted.
I made these on Hero Forge. It's a website for people who play board games, but I think board games are boring and I would rather play with slime.
You're pissing off our audience right now.
I know.
We also have this 90s TMNT toilet.
Yeah, it's really awful. It's a toilet, then the shredder is supposed to sit on it, and it came with slime. That slime is expired. We have modern slime that is, it's well-made slime for the future.
All right, so we're gonna push the slime into the toilet.
All right,
and then
I'm gonna open this. Release the slime. Shove it in there. You want me to get a plunger? That looks like we got some good slime there. We did some good slime, and thank you for tuning in and thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this very silly show, mark your calendars and come back here next Saturday. Saturday the 27th, probably.
4/27.
4/27. A normal Saturday. Nothing special about that one.
Yeah, we actually didn't even try to launch a show on 4/20. It just kind of happened. But I don't really think people plan anything for 4/20, really. That's
a lot of people do.
It's not like a plannable type of day, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I think that's when plans go kaput.
Yeah. In any case, I hope you've had a lovely Saturday, and I hope you enjoyed spending some time with us doing our silly, goofy nonsense. If there's anything you want to see lots more of, or lots of, let us know in the comments. And,
or less of.
Yeah, less of. Less slime, more slime? Let us know. How was the slime level on this episode? Yeah, head over to whatever you're watching this on and just the thing, or hit us up on Twitter. I'm Max Scoville, he's Agent Bizzle, and we are so fucking happy to be making this show again.